Hey guys, long time no see. I've been working on a lot of projects, so I really haven't had time to film. Um, this video is going to be a little bit different than normal. It's going to be about hardy succulents. I'll do a little pond update at the end too. But yeah, hardy succulents. They're like my new favorite thing. These are some planters that I have that I made. These are just sempervivum that you get from Walmart. They come in a sort of long, sort of ovular container, and there was one mother plant and a bunch of little babies that were this big, some that were smaller like this, which I still have in there with it. But this is a good example of how a mother plant looks for its first couple years, and then after it gets to maybe 2 or 3 years old, it stretches out and flowers. Like this one probably looked like this. I bought it already starting to flower, but it probably looked like this a few weeks ago. I have some in the backyard that are like this that I bought just as big as this, but they looked just like that. Those are both, all of these are from Walmart. The others are from garden centers, and some were at my neighbor's, so we'll get started. There's a few different types. These ones are sempervivum, or hen and chicks. They produce little babies that look like this off the mother plant, which would be this one. I don't know what they're called. They're sort of reddish pink with this green. And then some that aren't sempervivum, the other ones are called sedum, or stonecrop sedum. This is an example of a sedum. So is this. This one is a different type of sedum that we got in my neighbor's house. And this is also a sedum. There's another sedum that I'm going to show you a little bit, one that you might be more familiar with. We had it at our house for years, and I didn't even know it was a sedum. I just thought it was a plant. But as I got older, I kind of learned a little bit more within this year. But this is a planter with some gladiolas and some lilies, but mostly succulents. These are a bigger sempervivum that I got from my teacher. There's 4 of those, 2 smaller ones, this bigger one, and this medium-sized one. I don't know what those are called either, but these other ones I can tell you. These are sempervivum blue, Pacific blue ice. They're really pretty. They get this sort of blue color. They look more like an echeveria with like the rounded leaf shape, and these ones are more pointed. These are sempervivum cobweb buttons, and they start out sort of a green, and they sort of get red as they get older and mature, but their main feature is this white sort of lacing on them, which gives them that cobweb name. This is lavender. It's not a succulent, but it does well as a height element for these hardy succulents because most of them are more of a ground cover and they stay pretty low. And they like it dry like the succulents do. This is an example of chicks. There's one of the chicks right there that I broke off of this plant, which was a chick itself. It doesn't even have any roots right now. It was a plug when I put it in. This is sedum alum, or trying to think of the common name. Sedum, can't come to my head right now, but it's a ground cover sedum And this was from my garden center as well. And it's this sort of green color with white and red as it gets more light, or not white and red, red and purple as it sort of gets this light. Like, that's kind of a common theme with these. Once they get more light, they sort of get the unusual colors other than just greens and stuff like the other ones. But those are all really nice examples of hardy succulents. These guys grow extremely well and they survive the winter, which is great. They produce lots of little babies, and they do well in dry areas. In some places they're used as a ground cover to replace grass because it's too dry for grass to grow. But yeah, that's pretty much it about these hardy succulents, which are really cool. I can't wait to see what these blooms look like. They're probably going to be pink. This gets pale white flowers, and I want to see that. This is a blooming type sedum, I think, so I want to see the flowers that puts off. So yeah, and I want to see like where these things go. And they propagate really easily. They make lots of little babies. And they look good too. So it's something that you might want to consider getting into and putting in your garden. Really cool. So now we're going to move on to the pond update, which this is my pond. Not exactly a pond. I took down my Endler tub. I don't even think I ever showed it on camera. But I put, because all the Endlers, I think they all died. But these are some of the plants we had in there. Here's an Apontogeton, Apongeton, which I'm going to retry doing inside because it didn't do well inside. There's some guppies in here, a bunch of feeder guppies and a big female regular guppy in here. I see one with some nice green on its tail. It looks cool. But there's a bunch of those. There's some Danios, that type thing in here. This is a water hyacinth, a nice big juicy looking one. And this is all water lettuce with some salvinia and some duckweed. This is some iris, which I'm going to stick back in there. See if we can get that to grow eventually. This is also water hyacinth. These were all broken off of this main plant, all the hyacinths that you see. So this one, they're all broken off that main plant. This is, what is it called? Creeping Jenny, which I believe it's an annual, but it grows really vigorously. I'll see if I can get a side view of this pond and see into it. Might have to turn the camera sideways. It's not gonna work. There. You can kind of see a little bit. It's so full of plants and stuff. The view is limited. See those little guys? Little Danios. It's pretty cool. So that's pretty much it for this video. But yeah, succulents and ponds is basically how my summer's gonna be. We're already off school, so that's that. Next video. Bye.